You're listening to Women Infused Radio, where women in the marketplace connect with purpose and spirit, where the conversation covers all things women, business, and fascinating faith. And now, your host, Christy Lynn Olson.
Welcome to the Women Infused Radio Podcast. This is Christy Lynn Olson again, and I'm the CEO and founder of Women Infused, a faith-based personal development and business success organization, helping you, a woman in the marketplace, define your value, your voice, and your vision for business and life. I really created this podcast to provide you with personal and business success principles for a spirit-led lifestyle, so we could have a conversation for women professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs living out their faith in the marketplace. Women Infused Radio Podcast highlights conversations on all things women, business, and fascinating faith, and I'm so excited about some of the topics we have coming up for you. And if there's something you want me to touch on, please hop on our Facebook page and let me know what it is, and we'll try to get it into a future episode, because I really want this podcast to truly inspire you and help you navigate all areas of your life as you learn to walk out your calling. We often think of our calling in life as only spiritual, when in fact, it often encompasses you living out God's purposes in the professional world, outside of the church walls, to help you understand the importance of your work as change agents, equally gifted and called to influence and impact a generation in every sphere of your life. It's about helping you find your true calling and teaching you how to face the challenges of living fully as a woman of faith in that beautiful place where the sacred meets the secular. Living on purpose with spirit, teaching you how to integrate biblical and spiritual principles into the workplace and life. Help lead the conversation and join us at www.womeninfused.com. If you've been listening into this series from the beginning, you've learned how to uncover your signature voice, to reclaim your true identity, to clarify your divine message, and you've been speaking your moment's call using what's already in your hand today. How did it feel to start speaking about your vision and big dream to anyone who would listen? If you haven't already done so, hop on to the Facebook page and tell me about your vision. I really would like to hear it. Let's recap. The first two steps in Unveiled Voices were all about your value, who you are, facing your fears, asking soul-level questions, and identifying your core values and beliefs. Understanding the beautiful value and the beautiful power you bring to the world as a unique, handcrafted masterpiece formed and fashioned by God, the God of the universe, specifically for His glory as He works out your magnificent purpose. And then you moved on to reclaim your true identity and true value as a mighty warrior woman of God. You started moving into and walking in alignment with that identity and claimed it as your own. You worked on removing any veils or wrong thinking about who you are and the big dream you were placed on this earth to live out. Then to start to introduce or reintroduce yourself to the world. Some of you maybe even had to remind yourself whose dream you really were living. No, really. I know how easy it is to start following someone else's dream and fall headfirst into complacency. It's like you get to this place in life where you have to stop and ask yourself, if you're being honest, how did I get here? And do I want to stay here? To be honest, a lot of women get stuck circling around this mountain, sometimes even without knowing it. Staying the same is easy. Not wanting to rock the boat, I totally get it. But making a choice to ask the tough questions and get rid of doubt, fear, and insecurity takes courage. It takes tons of courage. I know because I've been there. My hope is that my experience and teaching in this area can save you a lot of time and frustration. It's not fun to remain on that hamster wheel and never experience the freedom you will have available to you when you understand how to base your identity on the one, the most creative spirit I know, the Spirit of God. He breathed life into you with the intention of watching you live an abundant life full of joy, peace, and perfect alignment with your purpose as you step out to walk out that calling together with Him as your partner in chief. Now that's a high calling. After understanding your value, you hopefully moved on to defining your voice. So first we started to uncover it, and then you started defining it. Here you learned how to clarify your message. You started simply by honoring your past, by discerning your life patterns. Did you find anything that surprised you there with those life patterns? I remember going through that step after writing out a timeline of my own life. I realized that about every 18 months I either changed jobs or needed to change how I did my job. Now, isn't that interesting? It was actually a relief to me to figure out that that was just a pattern in my life, and it was how God has wired me to experience what He needs me to learn. It showed me that God can work through cycles in my life, and it taught me lessons that I needed to learn during that period before I could move on to the next one. It also helped me better prepare when I felt that next shift coming. You know the feeling. You kind of know something is about to change. Start looking at your life and see if you can see any patterns like that, or patterns in how you cope with things that happen in your life. You probably started seeing clues to your purpose as well, or what I refer to as your highest calling. That overarching vision you have for your life with a specific message to share. From experience, I've seen some women feel that they have multiple messages, multiple callings, but I guarantee you that, let me help define that for you maybe. I can help you flesh it out and see that while it may all be related, you really do only have one higher calling on your life, but you will have multiple opportunities to release that calling during your lifetime. Does that make sense? When you work with me at your 2-day Master's Plan Intensive Retreat, we really refine that vision and give it feet to move you into action. Remember, our scripture verse for step 3 was, "You can make plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail." And that was from Proverbs 19:21. When you understand what your gifts are and learn to partner with the Spirit of God leading the way, it all begins to unfold in ways you could never have imagined. And then I shared in step 4 about speaking your moment's call, taking a risk to step into that space that God has uniquely designed for you with a message uniquely crafted to serve others. And let me remind you that a good check in your spirit regarding the validity of your higher calling and message is to see if it is something that will help another soul. Because if it's not about helping someone else or solving a problem that could benefit others, it's not a vision from God. In step 4, I believe, in my experience, that you reach the point where it is going to be too emotionally and spiritually painful for you to not do this work or release this message. You are compelled to start telling your story, and it may be as simple as that. Telling your story is never a waste if it is told with the intention of helping another human being, but no drama here, so you may have to go through the process of becoming healed and whole. Now, I don't mean perfect, but emotionally and spiritually healed to the point that you are whole and still might be dealing with a little bit of wounding in your life, but you're at this place where you understand who you are and whose you are, and you understand the power of God and the victory you have over your life. But I guarantee you, someone needs to hear what you have to say if you can also show them what it can look like on the other side of victory. They don't need to see that you're still stuck. There's no value in that kind of story, but they do need to see what it can look like for them when they too can reach that other side of victory. And even if it's only one person, it will all be worth it. God doesn't get all excited about numbers, but He gets very excited about transformation. That's what His ministry and His purpose was all about. He was sent to this earth to bring about transformation, radical transformation. God loves you so much that His highest thought for you is that you would experience radical transformation as you come to understand and realize His radical unconditional love for you, and that He purposed you before time began. He purposed a way for you to live out your highest calling by being free to be everything He created you to be, do, or have. Doesn't that get you excited? I'm getting excited for you already. There is so much freedom when you understand how to get into alignment with your calling. I shared with you that it's time to start speaking, start telling, start releasing the vision and the message as you are on your way to living out your purpose and impacting a generation. Today, I want to take you to the next level in the process. And for me, this is an exciting place to be. You've been telling your story, and now it's time to shine your spotlight strength, to step out in faith. Yes, your purpose and calling is a faith walk, not a cakewalk, but a faith walk with a renewed confidence and energy of your unique influence and vision. Here are 3 questions I want you to ask yourself. Just take a moment, jot them down. Who are you here to influence? Where can you influence with the greatest impact and change or transformation? And the third one is, what is your highest perceived value? Now, sometimes we can get stuck here and you might have to ask others for their opinion, but I think you can figure it out yourself. What you need to understand is your highest perceived value is what some people refer to as your sweet spot. That place where your passions, your purpose, your skills, gifts, talents, and abilities all converge. You are going to begin to step into that next level with greater focus, higher perceived value than ever before, and a joy that fills you up like never before. And here is the big clue to your success right now. Stay in your lane. What do I mean by that? I mean, understand your unique talents, skills, experience, and spiritual gifts. When you have taken the time in the previous steps to truly define and in some cases unearth your skills, talents, and spiritual gifts, they will give you a direct clue to what your highest calling is and how you were destined to walk it out for the greatest impact and influence. In my consulting program called the Master's Plan, Discover Who You Are, Discover What You Love, when I outline this step for my clients dealing with their highest perceived value and giftings, a huge light bulb usually goes on when we detail it. You can finally see that you've probably felt it all along, but now it's affirmed. That's all it usually is. Just an affirmation or a confirmation of what your spirit was already telling you all along. And nothing excites me more than to see someone finally get it, to witness that moment of clarity of calling. When you stay in your lane and focus on your unique piece or solution according to your gifts and purpose, you reach a whole new level of clarity and results. I guarantee it. Don't get distracted, though, by every shiny new object or program or technology that comes your way. There isn't a magic pill. Really, there's not. It's just about understanding how all of those pieces of the puzzle work together to create the whole picture. It's like a river, not constricting the flow of creativity, but a river with boundaries for a reason, so that the water can flow with ease and not flood the plain and cause disastrous results. Don't try to be someone you're not. Don't try to do it the same way everyone else does. What is successful for them might not have the same results for you in the long run. And remember, you are in this thing called life for the long haul. You might be able to copy someone else for a season, but it never works out over time. I've seen many men and women hop around from one thing to the next, one shiny object to the next, hoping that this is that big thing that will finally stick. Now, we have to try different things sometimes, but I know all too well because I've been there just hopping from program to program and nothing ever really stuck. There is a universe full of good ideas, but what I want you to see is that you need to step into that one great place that God already has reserved for you, just for you. And through my journey, I finally came back to center to who I was and to the call that God had laid on my heart many years ago, but one that I was too afraid to acknowledge or step into because of fear, lack of confidence. I can put a whole list out there for you. But the journey has been both a beautiful and sometimes painful process so far. And I'm sure I'm not done yet, but I'm much further along because of this truth and the steps I'm outlining for you today. You need to free yourself to be yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. There is not competition for your purpose because it is your calling. Everyone has one. As a matter of fact, your purpose might just help someone else complete their purpose. Have you thought about that? You might be purposed to lay the groundwork for someone else, and they are just waiting on that to happen. You see, it's really not about you, is it? What if your purpose and calling in life unlocks a chain of events that will radically transform the world? That's true kingdom building, serving others with your gift so that they can unlock theirs. Think about it. That is powerful stuff, baby. And now it's time to take bold action like never before with a single purpose in mind. Here we can start to create your strategic plan based on your higher calling and unique mix of gifts, talents, and experiences. You can do this in a variety of ways, but I have found that if you break it down into a 30-day, 90-day, and then 1-year plan, that has worked best for me. And sometimes I even just go 6 months at a time. So I do 30, 90 day, and then 6 months, because God works in creative ways. And sometimes I do have to do a course correct in the middle of the year. So I'm challenging myself on more strategic goal setting this year, but I do it in smaller chunks. And there are a lot of great resources out there to inspire and encourage you. So find a method that works for you, but then work it. That's the key word. You have to move from concept to action now. And if you've done all the work up to this point, you will have renewed energy to walk this out. So get to stepping, sister. It's your time to unveil your signature voice and the power of your calling. It's in this step where you will start to build your platform and build momentum for that one product or service you might be offering. Don't muddy the waters yet with thinking that you have to have an entire array of programs, services, offerings, projects that you're involved with, because that rarely works. Take the time to build your tribe, and now that you're clear on your messaging, you have to educate them and repeat the same message over and over and over again so that they can become clear on who you are and what you really do, especially if you are an entrepreneur or if you own your own business. If you work for someone else, it still works. You have to define and build your personal brand, your own, not somebody else's, and show the value that you bring to the table in a team or in a company. It's all the same process, just different environment. It's all about communicating the right vision to the right people to inspire them and create change. Don't just be part of the conversation. Lead the conversation. Whew, are you excited to get going? I know I am still so excited for you. As you begin to build your unique strategic brand and platform, remember this. You have to live fully in the beauty of your uniqueness. There is no going back once it's released into the world. You will want to be fully present and fully alive as you step into this space and begin to own your vision like never before. It's what will get you up in the morning and fuel the rest of your journey. It's time for you to develop, release, and launch into your highest calling, and no one can take that away from you. The word unveiled for today. For God's gifts and His call can never be withdrawn. He will never go back on His promises. And that's from Romans 11, verse 29. Hold that in your heart, daughter of the Most High God. There's a promise waiting on you, and He will fulfill it. Don't miss your destiny by holding back and remaining silent or thinking someone else should do this. God will find someone else if you choose to hold back, but I guarantee it that the blessings on the other side of radical obedience far outweigh the benefits of staying inside your comfort zone and playing it safe. Here's your action challenge for this week. Shine. Simply shine. Just stay in your lane and shine. Write down 3 things that you can do in the next 30 days that will take you one step closer to the bigger vision you do have for your life. And then write down a quarterly goal for each quarter this year and actually plan it out. Put it into your calendar, break it down into action steps. Even if you only do one thing a day, one small thing a day, you are at least going to get something done as opposed to nothing done. And a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing.
This has been Women Infused Radio, connecting women around the globe with purpose and spirit. And we want to connect with you. Get your free gift, Unveiled Voices, 6 things you need to do to define your value, voice, and vision. For more information on the free gift and links to join the conversation on social media, visit us at ChristyLynnOlson.com.